Hi, welcome to the podcast. It's your boy Jacob, heartbroken, of course. I'm here with you and Sam. They wanted a real intro, so this is what you get. And
Jesus.
Can I don't want you to say anything because you had a dead game. This is now the worst start in Arsenal's Premier League history, and we said that last year. We've outdone ourselves. Who could have thought? I couldn't have. I'm sure you guys at home couldn't have. But we've actually outdone ourselves.
Apparently, Arteta's better than Lampard, though. So you know.
Shut up. Listen.
Just throw it out
okay.
there.
Listen. It's getting alarming now. This is getting very scary because how can you lose to Wolves? All of my anger's gone now. I'm still angry, but I'm not shouting. I was shouting on my Snapchat. How can you lose to Wolves at home? First of all, we've lost 3 home games already this season. That's 3 home games. And to who? Wolves, Villa,
Leicester.
I can't remember who the last one was. I think it was
Leicester.
The refereeing was the most insulting. It was like the cherry on the icing on the cake.
I think
honestly.
you're clutching at straws.
And then when you did you see him at the 70th minute?
I think you're clutching at straws.
Was safing Neves. He spotted him. He was like, "Yo, walk on, bro."
That's something you do.
Like they're friends.
Just a show of respect between the player and the ref.
No, I don't care. You aren't
that.
friends with the ref.
We had decisions go against us as well. We should have had a penalty.
You had two. You had two.
The referee was fair.
We had
the referee.
I think he
was biased.
Well.
Don't lie.
He was not biased.
Considering the
just
referee it was
not great.
God, you're lying. Don't
Not
lie
lying.
to me. Be honest. Be honest.
Lying.
Considering the referee, and I hate that referee.
I don't think it was. I didn't say impartial. I said bad.
Okay, all right. No, and I want to hear from you. What do you think?
I mean, I personally can't stand that referee. I think he's a dreadful ref.
But
I think that's probably one of his best games that I've seen. So.
Oh my days.
No, there was. I mean, I think the yellow card. I don't think that was. No. Listen. Right. So we'll go through both penalty incidents. Right. Both of them weren't penalties. Right. Both of them. There's no if you're giving Adama Traore that penalty, what's the point in football anymore? So little.
That was a dive anyway.
It wasn't.
There was a tiny amount of contact. There was a tiny amount of contact. He made the most of it.
This guy goes,
he made the most of it.
I'm not saying it's a penalty.
Ragdolls, you know, in Black Ops 2 when you shoot the mannequins, and they just they do that. That's what he did. Or Black Ops 3, that Easter egg where they're floppy arms.
Jacob, I'm with you. It's not a penalty. I don't think it's a penalty, but I also don't think
I'm not saying it's a penalty either, but it shouldn't have been a yellow card. It wasn't a dive.
It was a bit harsh. There was definitely contact, but I don't think it was a penalty. The other side, right? I cannot stand the flailing arm thing at the minute. It is so over the top.
Oh my God. I don't care. It was a penalty. It hit me in the face.
It barely touched him. Literally, at this point, your pinky finger could brush past their cheek, and a player acts like he's been punched in the face. It's ridiculous. And if
I don't even have a problem with him, going down there and because he did catch him in the face, but it's not a foul. There's nothing Podence is just going for the ball. He's going to head the ball.
It's an racing incident.
Well, can we talk about actual football? Because I've already said that I hate this referee, and we don't like this referee, but we can't seem to agree. Our play was shocking. Bellerin was terrible.
And you wanted to put him in the best Premier League.
Do you know what? I during the second goal, I was like, why is Bellerin playing right centre back instead of right back? And then I saw, Neto literally ran around him, and I was like, oh, okay.
It was that second goal was class from Podence. I mean,
no, but Bellerin wasn't in the right position. That's why I'm so annoyed, because I could sense it. I was clairvoyant. I could see that.
I've said not from the start, but I've always quite liked the way Podence plays. I suppose it's a very similar style to.
It's very fun to watch.
Well, I think it's a very similar style to play of how I like to play football. Hazard is very, very similar. They both play very similar, and my favourite player of all time at the minute is Hazard. So
why? He's not very good.
Because he's a Chelsea legend. I mean, that's fair enough.
I mean, being a Chelsea legend isn't hard. History's 20 years old.
Why are you coming at me all of a sudden?
All I'm saying is you can't name a legend before the Abramovich.
I didn't say he was a legend. I did not say he's a legend.
I could name a Chelsea legend before the Abramovich money.
Well, yeah, but you can name a legend from
yeah.
second division Brazilian teams, so it's not really.
No, I didn't say he was a legend. I just said he's my favourite player of all time.
Yeah, listen,
that's just personal opinion on how he plays.
Watching us play, it wasn't fun for me. I don't find watching Arsenal entertaining in the Premier League anymore. I just
boring.
I get it. I get Sky Sports on or BT Sport, and I watch it. I sit down and I'm like, okay. I played Football Manager during this game. I didn't even like.
Oh there. There.
It was. I won the Carabao Cup, which is probably more than we're gonna do this season. Okay. And it was like, we need creativity. It's so bait. Now it's come to a point with a fan. It's so obvious things are going on behind the scenes with this football. You can't tell me you're not playing as for footballing reasons now.
Yeah.
Are you mad?
I mean,
because nobody else is making chances at all. No one.
I mean,
so why aren't you playing them?
To be fair, the other thing is Wolves had a massive blow at the start of the game. I mean, when this podcast comes out,
hopefully he'll be okay.
Jimenez.
Yeah, I do hope so, because that was a nasty hit. He wasn't moving or anything.
He didn't move for about. He was down there for about 10 minutes. It didn't move.
Yeah, that was not nice from Raul Jimenez. Well, not from Raul Jimenez, for him, I suppose.
Yeah, and at least good to see that David Luiz didn't come out of it so bad.
I can't believe they let him carry on playing though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the decision to let him carry on playing.
I don't agree. I think it should be like
considering there was blood leaking through his bandage.
Yeah,
he clearly was not fully at it. But I have got a lot of respect for him because of the way he stayed by the side of Raul Jimenez the whole time.
Yeah,
trying to make sure he's okay.
I don't know if you guys know this rugby rule, but what would you think to having it so the player that gets a head injury or something goes off the pitch into the locker room, right? Another player from the bench comes on. It doesn't class as a sub, and if the player in the locker room comes back and the tests have all been done properly, is fine. They can swap them back, and nothing.
I spoke about that on the commentary thing.
And like substitution, that sub doesn't count. Or if he fails it, then that substitute now counts as a sub. What?
Yeah, I like that.
That makes sense.
I heard that. I think it's a good idea.
That is a rugby rule. That is one of the big things in rugby. That if there's a concussion, they're straight away in the locker room being tested, and they have a sub come on that doesn't actually count as a sub until obviously it's weathered.
That makes way more sense than what's going on at the moment.
Yeah, we just sit there for 10 minutes and like, oh, you can play now.
Yeah.
You tested me. Nah, but you look all right.
Well, that's the thing. Okay. There's no way they can test them properly on a pitch. I refuse to believe that. They've got to be somewhere else.
They did it at half-time, because at half-time they subbed him off.
Yeah.
So I assume they probably tested him there.
He got knocked. He pretty much, well, I don't know if he got knocked out, but he had a massive head injury like 5 minutes into the game. So he's then played 40 minutes, potentially concussed.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. That is like, what happens if he got hit again in the head within that 40 minutes?
Yeah.
Like, it's stupid. But no, I don't know what the updates are for Raul Jimenez at the minute. I know he's awake.
Other than they said he was awake and responding, which is it's a good sign, and hopefully it's going to end up not being something really serious. But it sounded serious.
Well, I think the longer you're knocked out, the worse it gets, and it looked like he was knocked out.
He was out he was out cold for about 10 minutes.
Well, I don't know whether the way I saw it is when he was on the stretcher, his arm was still like, I suppose, limp, and a doctor or one of the medics was still holding his arm, so it looked like he was still knocked out while he was being carried off.
I think he was. I don't think he woke up at any point while he was on the pitch.
So that's really.
That was one of the worst knockouts I've seen. Like, it's probably worse than the John Terry one. John Terry when he got knocked out.
Yeah.
And was it Villa? I think they played against. He got out cold, but he still played on. Like, he's a unit.
Yeah, but that was back then.
John Terry.
Yeah,
John Terry. You can't get him down.
But it is nice, and also I don't know what hospitals Jimenez goes to, but assuming that is a hospital that isn't COVID secure. As soon as he recovers,
most of them all usually are. They went to a local one.
But obviously the laws at the minute, if you've gone into a hospital, you have to be tested, and you have to isolate after leaving it.
No, you haven't got to isolate.
Do you not have to isolate? No, yeah, but you have to isolate in that period where you're finding out the test.
Yeah, but now you get 15-minute tests. So I think you'd be alright to isolate and wait for 15 minutes.
But what if he catches it now?
Oh, well, then yeah, that's peak. If he actually gets COVID from Big Girl Hospital, then everyone will be after Louise. That'd be funny.
But it looks like he's going to be. How long was who was it? The Man City player that was out that got knocked out.
Eric Garcia.
Yeah. How long was he out for?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
He got punched in the face by Edison.
Was it 10 days? I think it was out for 10 days of the.
I can't remember.
Timers. Usually they say like if you have a concussion, you're meant to be out for 10 days, but that's if you have a concussion.
So is that 10 days out of training and everything?
I would believe so.
So and then he's got to get back to fitness after not been playing for so long. Oh.
Yeah, it's quite a hefty thing to miss out on. Well, he seems to do okay without him.
Well, at the very least, we know that. Fabio Silva had about 80 minutes to prove that he is actually ready to play at this level of football. I thought I was a bit worried when he came on because we haven't really seen anything from him at all. But I thought he really held his own well. Considering his lack of experience, his link-up play was good. Would have been nice to see. I think he looked like he was lacking a little sharpness in terms of getting into the right positions. Looked like he was like a step off being in the right position sometimes.
Yeah, that's just because of the experience, doesn't it?
But
playing more.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's gonna come with time.
Yeah,
and you could tell he's got potential. He's got talent.
Yeah,
so
and the formation, big. I mean, for an obviously not a Wolves fan, but an English fan, we've just seen Connor Cody playing a 4 at the back.
Exactly,
which is pretty good.
Yeah. We were talking about this when we were talking about England. We said, if Cody can play in a 4 at the back, then we think England should go to a 4 at the back with Cody in it. And
I think
he is now proven he can play in a 4 at the back. I thought he was absolutely outstanding today, by the way. Man of the match contender.
I mean, the thing is, as well, is Wolves, that's a prime example of what happens when you go from a 5 at the back to a 4 at the back, attacking-wise. Look how much you dominated.
We did the same thing. It didn't work for us, did it?
Well, there is that, but it can do that. And the players that England have got, that's an extra player in attack. And look what Podence did in what did he play in Cam?
Yeah, he played in Cam basically. Yeah.
Look at what he did. He just tore up everything. That's having that extra player in midfield.
Yeah, I was impressed with because he's already shown that he can play up top and he can play on either wing for us. We've seen his outstanding dribbling ability and he's good in front of goal. But he really I thought he stood out not only with that but also with his passing in this game. Playing in an attacking midfield position rather than an out and out attacker. He was dropping a bit deeper a lot of the time. He was picking up the ball and he was really controlling the attacks. Yeah, so that was what I was really impressed with him about.
It's also the fluidity. I think I know Lampard's trying to do it. Having a team that they're attacking 4, so your wingers, your cam, say, and your striker, they can all play in each different position.
Yeah.
So if you find that your striker,
any of our 3 behind Fabio Silva, they could just move anywhere across that across that line.
And it confuses the defence because if you're playing right wing and you're a defender playing left back, you're going, right, I've got this right winger, this is the man. And all of a sudden, that guy's now on the other side of the pitch. You got a new guy, and you're like, what the hell do I do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see whether you'll...
Spoken a lot about Wolves and not enough about my shambolic club yet, I don't think. And I do have to ask one more thing because when are we going to acknowledge that Aubameyang isn't where he used to be? Like, as a fan base, I feel like we're all like, in Among Us when you all vote for someone who's the imposter, it's like, do we all think? Yeah? Do we all agree? Yeah? No?
Yeah, I don't think Aubameyang's got it.
So I think the defining moment for this was when that real scare, the biggest scare from Wolves' defensive perspective, when Patricio took a loose touch and Aubameyang nicked it from him.
Yeah.
And then, he just didn't react properly. He turned around and waited a while, and then eventually got a shot from the edge of the box, which was cleared by Cody. Like, yeah, he looks like he's lacking that, that sharpness, not only in his movement, but almost in his head. Like,
he's got it.
He's lacking a bit of that sharpness that he used to have, that used to make him so deadly.
Aubameyang?
Yeah.
It's a real shame. It's comes with age, isn't it? And we're really trying to accommodate because we need him at his peak, playing him up front. And because he's not doing that now, we have issues. Like what are we supposed to do now? Because if we're gonna stop believing in him, we need to stop believing in him fast. Does that make sense? Like we can't rely on him for too long. If you go to January, we're gonna stick with Aubameyang, and then he doesn't perform the second half of the season, we're not having any goals and already not scoring any goals from anywhere else. Which is scary, very scary.
So it's not looking good for Arsenal.
Our centre back is Gabriel is one of our. I think he's in the top 3 top scorers in the Premier League.
Oh, I thought you were going to say top 3, top 5 centre backs. Then
no, he will be there. I honestly think he played really well in that game.
I'm not going to say he played badly. I think
he had a couple of mistakes.
I mean, they all had a couple of mistakes. Like you can't say,
everyone.
No one for Arsenal played well. No one for Arsenal played well.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I thought, he wasn't terrible, and of course he did get his goal.
It was a nice goal.
He's a big threat in the air, good header.
That's what we do about this now. We can't. I'm not gonna say Arteta out. That's too rash, but we need. Clearly, we need to make some signings.
If you were Chelsea and you had the same board as Chelsea, he'd be out.
No, but the thing is that board sucks. That's why they hired Arteta, because they have someone who, I mean, is a manager who's not gonna say anything. If it
wasn't Arteta, if it wasn't a club legend, do you reckon they'd still be there?
He's not a club legend, is he? Really? He played for.
Well, not a club, but yeah, but
he's a fan favourite.
Yeah, I mean, because imagine if it was like Ancelotti or Allegri, right, who was here instead of my guy, right? Ancelotti would have left because he's not being backed, and he's thinking, why can I not play this world class midfielder who I've actually managed before? Why he managed Ozil, right, at Real Madrid. He did.
I would say so, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he would have. 2014, 2013, 2014 he was there. Yeah, he's like, he obviously knows Ozil already. And if he's being told, oh, you can't play him. Because let's be honest, Arteta isn't the one saying he can't play Ozil. Because I have a feeling if he wanted to play Ozil, he would. If he could play Ozil, he would.
Is Arteta the coach or the manager?
He's now the manager. He was the head coach and he got promoted to manager in between the chance.
So would he not have a say in the?
He gets a say, but
ultimately the squad though.
Yeah, no, the board has the overriding decision.
It's the Cronkies, isn't it? Or like not Ralph Sanelli, he's been sacked. It's like Vinay and Edu, really, that are like telling him, "Oh no, you can't play him because he did this and that." And it's frustrating, honestly, because he's new to management, so if he doesn't make this work, where's he gonna go?
Wow,
it makes it 10 times harder for him to become a proper manager if he doesn't make it work here, even though he's already won a trophy here. And it's a bit worrying, honestly.
It's not good.
I think we'll stick with him though for quite a while.
Probably.
Like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
From one part of London to another,
right.
Which is
thanks for that.
No problem, mate. Bit of a shambolic derby.
Right? Deadest game. Oh my god.
The thing is,
I really sat there and watched that. I put a bet on that game as well.
Before the game, right? I'd be somewhat happy with a draw against a very, very good Tottenham team. Right, I'd be like, okay, fair enough, it's a draw. I am not happy with a draw. Well, we should have won that game.
No, you shouldn't have. Your strikes. Tammy Abraham was terrible in that game.
No,
Werner scored a great
we should have
goal
won that game in terms of like the chances we had. We should have won that game. There is no way that we should. Like, it's ridiculous.
Nah, Tammy Abraham missed a rubbish. Had a gold opportunity from Reece James. I don't know what he did.
Oh yeah.
But
I agree with you. But what I'm saying is we should have finished those off, and we should have won that game.
Yeah, I guess so. Tottenham only had 2 shots on target.
I'm not happy with a 0-0 draw with that. Whereas I'm sure Tottenham are more happy with a 0-0 draw than we are.
I'm sure Mourinho is. Yeah, that's Mourinho's way. You know, he
part of the bus.
He goes into these big games with the mentality of let's not lose.
Yeah.
And it worked perfectly for them.
Well, it nearly backfired if there was no linesman. If they didn't get caught, if Thirdy didn't get caught offside, which is a great goal.
Can I just what a finish?
Yeah, it was really good.
Considering the guy that everyone's complaining about shooting and like he's missing chances, that was a class finish.
Yeah, it was. It really was. Well, I liked the game. I mean, there was some good chances, but other than that, it was kind of boring. I won't lie.
It was a dead game, but it's a game that it's another game that we haven't lost.
Yeah.
Another clean sheet as well.
Exactly, another clean sheet. That last time we had a clean sheet against a big club, Man United. Look what we went on to do.
Yeah, which is good. You need that. It's better than losing, isn't it? You getting points off clubs that you're going to be competing with, and then it just becomes down to the other clubs that you should be beating anyway.
Yeah, and I mean the two people that are like arguably the two most informed people in the league, we kept quiet for the majority of the game. Son and Kane did nothing.
Yeah, I'd have bet for them both to have one shot on target, and they didn't get it. Neither of them got a shot on target.
Yeah, we kept them so quiet.
Aurier and Bergwijn were the only two people to get shots on target in that game.
It was a nice save from Mendy.
Yeah, he did make a good save. He had a shaky moment where he came almost to the halfway line and cleared it, which was quite funny.
that was the thing. I don't understand
He's
how
just
they had
getting a bit
miscommunication, considering they both speak very good French. But I think Mendy.
Who was in the back for you?
It was Mendy and Kante. The shaky moment happened. Kante came. Was obviously running back towards his net, probably wanting to head it back to the goal. And I think Mendy wanted to go and clear it, and they both kind of had that moment where they were like, "Oh, I'll let the other person do the other thing."
No, bro, you got it. No, bro, you got it. No, bro.
So, that was basically the story of the game. There wasn't really any major chances except for when there were defensive lapses, and neither team was able to take advantage. Very late in the game, there was one each for the sides. You had that moment for Chelsea first, where the Spurs centre-back, I think it was his first league start, Joe Rodon.
Yeah, he was pretty good, Joe Rodon.
He was pretty good, but then he made that mistake.
He made two big mistakes.
Did he?
But he didn't
the first one for the Werner. The Werner disallowed goal, and then the one for Giroud.
Yeah, it's the
one person you want in that situation, on his left foot, and he's just passed it to Lloris.
He panicked, to be honest. I think he thought he had less time than he did. He probably could have taken a quick touch and then buried that.
I think just bury it first time. Just absolutely put your foot through it. It was off target as well. I'm pretty sure the lob was off target when I saw the replay. But
then, you guys had an equally shaky moment right after that when Zuma passed it straight to, I think it was Lucas Moura.
Yeah.
And then Lo Celso, I don't really know what he was trying there. I mean,
in my head, I'm like, I said at the start of the game, as long as we don't have a massive mistake in this game, we will most likely win it. And then the mistake came in, and I was like, oh no, because a lot of last season was that. A lot of last season, the reason we conceded so many goals was because of our own mistakes.
Yeah. Martinelli, Kante slips. Martinelli was in. And
exactly.
Did the maddest goal ever scored at Stamford Bridge. So as you can see, we're all pretty tired, and that is because we stayed up last night to watch Mike Tyson.
I just want to say before we do get into this,
Sam, that's my one segue. No, go on.
It's a good segue, but I do want to just quick disclaimer: as much as we love to talk about Man United's impressive 3-2 comeback against Southampton, we really don't have time.
Guys, we hate them. That's why.
So good stuff from Edinson Cavani.
Yeah.
Bloody Cavani.
As much as we would love to see Southampton.
We're not talking about him. Sorry.
But let's move on now. Let's move on now to the big fight.
We want to go to sleep in it. So obviously
we've all been basically awake for 48 hours straight.
It's what we do for you guys at the Active Podcast, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I don't even know. Can we just talk about the fact that it ended in a draw?
Fam, that fight was the most anticlimactic fight. The fight was dead. We stayed up till 5 a.m. to watch this fight, and all they did was throw a couple punches. They held back. They weren't going 100%. No way, because they weren't allowed to knock each other out because it was an exhibition fight. And,
all the power punches were in the body.
Some of them body hits. Like I can feel them in my bed.
The thing that annoys me, right? One, we didn't see the scorecards.
They didn't announce the scorecards. They just said it was a draw.
Number two, even Roy Jones Jr. said he pretty much admitted that he lost.
Yeah, he did lose.
Yeah.
But the only way it can be a draw is if someone dropped points. So I can't figure out why.
Was it because of an exhibition fight? Was that the reason for it being a draw? I think it probably was.
Well, yeah, but how you can only be a draw if someone drops points in a round. and the other person has won the round. So if Mike Tyson had won the round
No,
and then dropped points in the same round, then it could be a draw. Otherwise,
no. It can it not also be if so there are all 9-10 rounds or 10-9 rounds. If Mike Tyson won 3 of those and then lost 3 and it was the other way around, that's a draw as well, is it not?
Oh yeah, that's right. Do you know what? Because my brain's fried, isn't it? Do you see how late it is? Do you see how long I've been awake?
But is there going to be another one?
I don't care. If it's going to be an exhibition fight, I'm not watching it again. I'm not staying up for it. If it happens at like 11 o'clock at night, I'll watch it. But if it's going to be a 5 a.m. thing and it's an exhibition fight and they're wearing 12-ounce gloves, I'm not staying up for that. The undercard fights and the prelim fights were better than them. That Dubois fight.
That was a good.
That was actually a sick fight. Actually,
Dubois?
Yeah.
Yeah, the really
the
early
first one where he just
was
hit jab in his eye.
O'clock, wasn't it?
Do you know when
that wasn't an undercard. That was a different fight.
I said it was prelim.
It was a different fight, but
no, it wasn't a prelim, was it? Dubois. I don't think Dubois.
It wasn't even in America. It was in the UK.
It wasn't included in like the package, was it?
No.
Yeah, no, it was.
That was
a
just
different
free
event.
with BT Sport. That was in England. I don't. So
Yeah,
can we not talk
it was
about that because
different
it wasn't technically part of the thing? We were just watching that.
It was a different event completely.
We were just watching an event. Okay.
Good fight though.
It was a good fight. Yeah.
Feel sorry for Dubois' eye.
We should be talking about the Jake Paul fight.
Let's move on to the Jake Paul.
Oh my!
Someone needs to put this kid down. He needs to stop doing so well.
My guy was in the wrong sport. What's his name again? Nate Johnson?
Nate Robinson.
Nate Robinson is in the wrong sport. He was getting pummeled from round 1. I felt bad for him after round 1. I was he's gonna lose.
That fight should never have gone on for that long. He did not beat the
first count. He didn't beat it. No.
Yeah, he didn't beat the first count. The second count, he went to 9. Bearing in mind, this is his debut professional fight.
Yeah, man.
Right. So it's already like you need to be careful with these fighters because it's their first basically their first proper fight, and then the referee lets him get knocked down like that.
Yeah, I mean Jake Paul was very good. I have to say, like his striking was really good.
Jake Paul's a good fighter. He is a good fighter.
Yeah, some of his like his like jabs, considering he kept his distance quite well. I think he did really well, just keeping distance and then just hitting him. I thought Nate Robinson would have been taller than that though, because like he's a basketball player, but he's 5'9", so
what? That's 5'9" or 5'10"?
5'9", which is kind of like, that's a decent height, but it's nothing.
That's tall for me. That's very tall for me.
Yeah, you're a small guy.
He's a giant.
You're a short guy. I'd destroy you in a fight just by reach. I'd just jab you every day. Every 5 minutes.
By weight as well. Let's not be.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. That wouldn't help.
But no, it wasn't a nice. It wasn't a nice knockdown to watch.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't nice. Was that the one where there was an overhead hit as well, behind the ear hit? Or was that a different fight?
Yes, that was the first knockdown.
Yeah, that was a bit mad.
In which I said that if it goes to points, it will probably be contested.
Yeah, but we knew it wasn't. It wasn't. What was it? Was it 6 rounds? Was it 6 rounds or 2?
Yeah, it's 6-2s. I think.
No,
it was either 6-2s or 6-3s.
Either way, if it was there's no way he wouldn't have made 6-3s. 6-2s, I highly doubt anyway. But yeah, it was pretty rough for him. Had a rubbish night.
I mean,
and he was out for a while as well. He was like it reminds me of Jimenez. Like he was out for like 4 or 5 minutes just on the floor.
Yeah, it wasn't as long as Jimenez.
No, it's not. But it's just when someone's on the floor that long, anything longer than a minute. Because like a minute's a long time to look at nothing. And when you're seeing someone just on the floor, not moving for a solid 30 seconds to a minute, you're like, yo, is he alive? And then like 4 minutes of people just around him and he's not moving. It's like,
it was not great at all.
But now it's like, who's going to fight Jake Paul? Because someone has to fight him. I don't want to see this guy wearing a Dragon Ball Z hat to a weigh-in again. He needs to go.
Right.
That was so cringy.
And they do little basketball tricks, just dunking in the flipping back room.
Is this not the first YouTube boxing fight that's gone out of YouTube, if that makes sense? So like the first one where it's not 2 YouTubers, it's just 1 YouTuber versus a famous person.
Yeah. I mean, Logan Paul said he was going to fight some, like, he's going to fight CM Punk. Floyd Mayweather's supposed to happen. I don't know if that's going to happen now.
But for that, Jake Paul has brought the old YouTube boxing kind of mentality. It's all a laugh and a joke. We're just going to take the mick out of each other type thing instead of it being professional, which is why came on with some Dragon Ball Z stuff.
Oh my god, that was so cringe, I swear. It's just...
But do we see KSI versus Jake Paul?
We should.
Or see, the problem with this is I'm pretty sure if you look at the size difference, they're in different weight categories. Which means but Jake Paul would have to bulk up.
Yeah, he would. But I think he could do it. I feel like he'd beat...
I'd like to see it in terms of entertainment.
He'd be so much slower, though.
I think when we watched the KSI fight as well, we rewatched the KSI Logan Paul fight before the Jake Paul fight. You pointed out, like KSI is, like, his fighting, the way he fights is kind of weird. Like, he shouldn't win the way he fights. He's a windmill. Yeah, he swings a lot. He swings the fence a lot. And his balance, he's always off balance. I don't know how he gets... It's like drunken boxing, like a guy...
It's because it's so unexpected. Like, it's an overhand constantly, which you don't really know what to do with at that level.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of... Because the first time you see that is in the fight. Like, it's almost like going back to the Mike Tyson. You've all got a plan until you get punched in the face.
yeah, there you go.
Like, you've got a plan for this until you actually come up against KSI with a bloody windmill.
Now what do we do?
What's going on here?
That's how you get between amateurs and pros, though, because pros know how to deal with that. They're used to being punched in the face.
Well, they probably know how to deal with it after one round. Like, they probably take a round and go, right, let's see what it feels like, because a lot of boxing starts off really slow.
I've got to ask, right? How far away do you think we are from seeing these YouTubers be considered like contenders for like Klitschko, Fury, AJ, ever? Do you think it will ever happen?
Nah.
You don't think ever? I think it will take some time, but eventually they'll be taken seriously.
I don't.
Someone will be like, "Yo, I'm gonna fight this guy."
No, I think the closest you're gonna get to it is, and I'm putting a lot of faith in this person, is Vidal Riley, that is a boxer that has become a YouTuber. So you gotta get it the right way around.
It's a bit different. I feel, but if you think about it, right? If you saw, say Logan Paul were to somehow beat Floyd Mayweather, if that fight ever happens,
I can see
someone is gonna say, "Yo, he actually looks like a decent guy, and I'm gonna fight him." And I get YouTuber money from all these 12-year-olds who are like watching his videos.
I mean, I suppose I could see it happening, but it'd be more of an exhibition type fight instead of being like a fight for.
Why do you even have exhibition fights? They're so dead. It's not even fun.
Could you really imagine the, like, I don't know, Tyson Fury going, "Oh, you know what? I'll put my WBC title on the line for someone that's only had 2 fights."
But he would just but he would think he's gonna win anyway. So
also, are they allowed to do that? Don't they have to work their way up to do that?
You could fight Tyson Fury if you wanted to, but you wouldn't be for the title. You have to work your way up to fight him for the title. But if you were like Tyson, I want to fight you, and for some reason, if he randomly said, "Yeah, okay," for no reason,
I don't think it'll happen just because of the schedule. I mean, it's unlikely. It's really difficult to get AJ to fight Tyson Fury or Wilder because of the schedules.
Scared of him.
No, well, there is that, but there's also the whole thing of AJ's got to have 4 mandatory fights every so often. They've also got to have mandatory fights.
What, like,
it's so difficult to keep the belt. So he has to fight Pulev soon to keep that belt, because if you don't do your mandatory the fights, you lose the belt. So you have to keep on doing these.
This is why Tyson Fury lost his belts when he went off for like 2 years.
Yeah. So because you have to make these fights, so you've kind of got to find time in between having those mandatory fights to try and gain another belt.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So which is why it's so difficult to become the undisputed world champion and to unite all the badges.
Gain your Infinity Stones.
Not badges. The belts.
Ding ding ding. Stuff your fingers. Ultimate boxer.
But yeah, no, I'm not a fan of YouTube boxing anymore.
You're not a fan? It's great.
It's big. It's been and it's gone.
These people aren't professionals pretending to be professionals.
Nah, I think it's been and it's gone though. The hype's gone. Move on somewhere else.
That's why they're fighting
YouTube
normal
is a constant moving thing. YouTube has never stayed at one place, if that makes sense. It's constantly moving. So we need to find the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. If you stay at something too long,
we've done football matches before. We've done boxing. Now I think we do sponsored YouTuber golf. Yes.
Nah, dancing on ice.
Dancing on ice.
Personally, I reckon we should stick KSI and Logan Paul in a Formula One car and see how they do.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my days, could you
Heading down at 300 miles an hour around that Dutch track where it's practically 45-degree angles. Oh, it'd be absolutely beautiful. 100%.
So, are we on the topic of Formula One?
Madness. Oh, we went from Sam being quiet to me being the quiet one now. I'm glad Sam knows how it feels to now not know about most of the subject.
Right. But I think the first thing we have to mention is Romain Grosjean. Once
He's
again, okay. Well, when this podcast goes out, hopefully he's out of hospital. He's recovering well. So
I mean, that was one of the most horrifying incidents I've ever seen.
Madness.
The only crash that I've ever watched live that could compare to that would be the Hubert crash last year, which tragically killed Antoine Hubert. But
I thought it was a fatality after I saw it live.
You think so?
You see that?
You think someone's dead in that? Because it's so big.
You see the car just explode. It literally exploded in a fireball, and you think there's no way he gets out of that. There's no way. And then you see the picture of the car, and the car is torn in half, with half of it embedded in the barrier, melted. And you're like, these guys got out with minor burns and a broken rib.
Yeah,
he broke his rib as well.
It's like, I think so. But the thing is, like, Senna, what they think is one of the reasons he died was because of a shard that hit him.
Yeah.
Wow.
The car blew up. There is 100% going to be shards of carbon fiber flying off that.
Yeah.
Or the barrier
just safety,
itself.
Isn't it? They've really improved safety in cars. Like the fact that a crash that big can keep someone from dying is crazy.
And it's not the first time that it's not the first time in the last 2 years since the Halo's been introduced that it's seemingly saved someone's life. I mean,
it did it twice, pretty much. The Halo, I don't know if it saved his life, but it definitely saved Stroll from some bad neck injury.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy that Lance Stroll got his car flipped upside down, and that's a minor incident in this race. Like that's not even the main talking point.
Yeah, he flipped over. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's like even his reaction was like, "This isn't a big deal." He just went to the Lance Stroll's radio and he's like, "Okay, I'm hanging upside down," and that was it.
Like, what the hell am I doing here? But no, he's lucky to be able to have got out of the car. Grosjean is.
The way he got out, he came up with an urgency that you could tell he was pretty scared at first.
He lost a boot in there.
I mean,
he came out with just one sock on and then a boot on.
The other incidents that come into mind are, Jacob, you won't necessarily remember these, but you and Will, a couple of years ago in Belgium when I think it was Alonso literally got just pushed over the top of Leclerc's car.
Yes, that was... oh my god!
If there's no halo there, then that's literally going to take Leclerc's head off.
Yeah,
and
I honestly think that Grosjean could have quite possibly, it's a bit gruesome, but quite possibly decapitated if that halo wasn't there.
I mean,
I know it's
terrifying
not an image
to think about. Yeah,
we're definitely demonetized now.
There's another one.
Oh well.
There was another one. It might have been this year, or last year at Belgium actually, when Giovinazzi hit a wall and his tyre bounced off and
I was gonna say
was heading straight for George Russell's head, but it bounced off.
Yes, it was.
I was gonna say it and I was gonna be like, oh, I'm a Formula One nerd now, but I was worried I was gonna get it wrong. That was the first race I watched. That one, and it was that was really cool. Well, not cool, but like it was fascinating, like because it had the wheel and the axle. That's what it's called, attached to the wheel. So like that is gonna hurt as well. And the halo.
The thing is, originally I was like, okay, why on earth has Grosjean gone for that gap? I 100% was like, right, this is a nasty incident. It's probably not the time to blame people, but it was a stupid decision. But actually, it wasn't his fault at all. Really, there was carbon fiber flying off.
His car got hit by a bit of debris, so he kind of turned to the right to try and avoid it, and also. There was a car just ahead of him. I can't remember who it was.
Right. It might have been Raikkonen. I'm not 100%
maybe.
Sure.
But yeah, they were off the track, and obviously you see someone just ahead of you off the track to your left. You want to kind of move away from that in case something bad happens. But it unfortunately didn't didn't work out that way.
Yeah, it's been a gruesome week.
Yeah,
it's been a crazy day. I mean, you consider all the incidents that have happened since, you know, the first one being probably Nate Robinson being knocked out cold. It feels like it was longer ago when we were recording this than this morning.
Yeah,
but it was this morning, and then since then we've had Jimenez with that 3 nasty
major
head
incidents.
injury. We've had Grosjean car blowing up, Stroll's car flipping over.
Yeah,
it's been a crazy day.
But it's like this is my argument towards refueling. It's a massive, well, not massive, but it's a big argument at the minute whether refueling should be a thing, shouldn't it be a thing? Not being funny, but if the FIA say it's safe, I'm sure it's safe. I mean, someone has just gone how many miles an hour? Over 100 miles an hour into a metal barrier. The car has blown up, and he's came away with minor burns and a broken ribcage.
Yeah, it's like the safety precautions in this sport are unbelievable.
It's insane how safe they've made it over the years.
Yeah. I mean, I fully understand it doesn't seem safe at all. I mean, the idea of someone sitting in a car with fuel pouring out over them and it setting on fire does not sound safe at all.
But they're like fireproof stuff, innit?
But it
That's
will
the thing.
Well, I say it will be 100%. It can't be always 100% safe, but it will be very, very safe. I would.
Probably seems like a safer sport than, like, say, rugby now.
The thing is with fire in Formula 1, like, you see it so rarely that it seems like at times, like in places like Singapore in particular, where it's so hot and humid, you think, why do they have to wear such ridiculously, thick clothes?
Yeah.
Because, at Singapore, they'll continue to use that as an example. They lose multiple pounds during that race.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because of how exhausting it is.
Well, it gets.
But then it's exactly yeah, exactly. But then it's like incidents like this that remind you that every single precaution that is taken is absolutely 100% worth it. Because even if they never need it again, they would have been 100% worth it just for this one incident.
Well, yeah,
just saved Grosjean's life.
Exactly, it saved his life. And we talk about fire. There was 2 fires in today's race. We had Stroll's car set on fire as well.
Oh, really?
And we had Perez, who towards the end he.
Oh, no, sorry, not Stroll. My bad. I mean Perez. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't watch the full race because the Tottenham Chelsea game was on at the same time. But yeah, no, it was good to see Grosjean walking out of it.
Yeah, so I feel like moving on to that, we should at least talk a little bit about the actual race. What actually happened. Lewis Hamilton won again.
Of course he did. No way.
No one's surprised.
Didn't even have to watch the race.
That. But in terms of obviously Perez looked like he was dead set for a second consecutive podium until it was cruelly taken from him by the engine problem. His engine set on fire, and that looked like a nervous situation for a moment. And then the flipping guy who ran across the track. I don't know if you guys saw this.
I missed it, but I heard it. Was it Lando Norris that started?
It showed it from Lando Norris' perspective because the guy runs across Lando Norris to help put out the car, and Lando said, "That's the bravest guy I've ever seen."
That's kind words.
Was he actually allowed to do that though? Like, is he actually?
No. He's not allowed to necessarily, but he literally just sprints across the track with multiple cars coming at him, going at 200 miles an hour.
Well, it's the whole idea of when you've got an issue with something in all circumstances, when there's a danger, don't ever put yourself in danger at the same time.
Yeah.
Because it can cause. So, for example, if that gone wrong and he's just been hit, you've now got to sort out a fire, plus sort out a guy that's just been essentially flattened by
you have to clean him up.
200 mile an hour car. So you've got 2 major incidents now just because of one person deciding that he's going to be a hero and sprint across a track.
No one cared who it was until I put on the mask.
It's like the whole idea of you shouldn't really sprint into a fire. Like, if there's a massive fire, you don't sprint into it, not really being aware of what's going on.
As much as you've got to admire the bravery of the man, it was a very stupid thing to do.
Luckily, he didn't get hit. We have had this on Formula One before when a fan ran down the track. Yeah, a fan. I can't remember what it was, but a fan with a I think he was in a. I could be wrong, so don't take my word for it. But I think he was in a Scottish kilt or something to do with Scottish, and he just ran all the way down the straight.
Trying to get like a 200-mile-an-hour selfie with Lewis Hamilton as he just drives past him.
Yeah, so. But yeah, no, it has happened before. I'm pretty sure we've had animals run across a track.
There's
been animals.
Yeah. At least it didn't end in tragedy. But one thing that did end in tragedy this week was the death of Diego Maradona.
Yes, sadly.
That was
very sadly.
We said we were going to talk about it. We said we were going to talk about it first, but I think we should touch on it a little bit because
definitely,
it's crazy. Like 60 years old, like that's young. And to hear him die, like just from cardiac arrest, one of the greatest footballers of all time.
Yeah.
Was he still managing that?
Yeah,
he was still manager, right?
He was in charge of Gimnasia in the Argentine First Division.
Wow.
So, yeah, he's the kind of guy who would never, stop doing what he wanted to do.
Yeah, which was snort coke.
He lived life to the fullest.
Yeah.
For sure.
We're trying to dance around the fact that so we don't get age restricted or something, because that's gonna happen if we get too deep into his life. But he was he did what he wanted to. But it was so weird because he was like, even though he did all that, he was still the best footballer on earth at one point.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna have to get one of you guys to try and say his name because otherwise I'm gonna butcher it. But there was sadly another death that happened today. Senegal.
Yeah,
I
international.
saw this. Yeah.
I have written it down if you can pronounce it.
I can say it. So I'm gonna. It sounds really better than it.
I really don't want to butcher it. Can you see it?
It's
Papa Boyabu Diop.
Yeah, he scored like the first goal for Senegal in that O2 World Cup.
Pape Bouba Diop.
How did he die? Because he's like 42.
I don't know. I've really not. Other than seeing a post about it on Twitter, I don't really know anything about what happened here. But
he was kind of before our time, wasn't he? Really? So he was.
Yeah.
Again, none of us really know much about him as a footballer, but obviously he's a legend of his country. A fan favourite when he was playing here in England. I think he played for West Ham, and I've seen a lot of tributes across the internet of he's a player who really put his heart and soul into the game, and was the kind of guy that everybody enjoyed watching and enjoyed playing with. So, and to pass away at just 42 is a real tragedy.
Young man, young.
So yeah.
Did you guys hear about the coroners, Maradona's coroners? Did we talk about this already?
Oh,
we have done. Be careful with what you say.
We don't want to, get deleted off the internet. They're dead. Can we say that? Yeah. Boca Junior fans.
They inappropriately.
How can we? They took selfies with Maradona, right? And obviously he's not alive.
In an appropriate time.
Yeah, and then obviously the Boca Junior ultras said you can't do that, and then they obviously, it's Argentina, so you can, what they did.
They have sadly been murdered.
Wow.
Was there 3 of them?
I thought I was doing a better job than you. 2 of them are dead, and one of them is in critical condition, as far as I know.
So is it condolences? Is that the right word?
Yeah, I guess so.
Condolences go out to the families. No, to the families of the.
Sure, they got nothing.
I'm going for big words, lads. Wow. Come on.
Gold star for you. We're gonna get so much trouble for this.
Hi, where's my A star? This turned to a really sad podcast.
It's dark. It's taken a dark turn. It's been
a dark week.
It's been a dark week.
It hasn't been the best week. We just need to protect Pele at all costs now. I'll check up on him today and make sure that he's, because he's just the best. This isn't been a very long podcast either.
No, I mean,
no, it's been one of our shorter ones.
One thing that we did. One thing that we did mention when we were talking about the boxing, just to keep.
We'll circle back. Keep it alive. Come on.
Yeah, no, but no, with the boxing, we were talking about the fact that older boxers are now going back and doing exhibition fights. will we see this happen in football with old legends playing in a competitive football?
Master League, bring it back. I want to see Paul Scholes and Frank Lampard link up against Vidic and Ferdinand and some other retired legend. Like, it's just sick. I want to see, like, because you see it a bit, don't you? Like, when you saw the testimonial for Vincent Company or the
didn't Man United?
Yeah, there's a 20th anniversary of the class of 90. Not class of 99. Class of 92 when they did the treble in 99.
The only problem with that was David Beckham was still in shape. And he just ruined.
He was so good in that game. Because obviously, I obviously saw David Beckham, like, I didn't get to see his prime, obviously. We must have seen it like late on in that World Cup.
Yeah.
When he was like LA Galaxy or whatever. But he still had it. I remember I saw the replay like months ago, and his pings just like my guy's halfway line, just sending it.
Yeah.
It's
just
so
like
good.
I don't. Well, I suppose you could have it as a charity match, but not the charity match feel, if that makes sense. Like, with charity match, everyone's all friendly. Now, I want competitive.
Could you imagine Roy Keane
winning
competitive again, playing again?
Nah, but I want that type, like they were playing for like the I don't know, the league title.
But you'd have to do it in like a different setting, so that's like indoor, like 5-a-side or 7-a-side pitches.
Nah, 11-a-side.
Nah, that's too much.
We do it Soccer Aid. Look at the players that play in Soccer Aid.
Yeah, but in Soccer Aid you get unlimited substitutions, and most players play like for
half
an hour. Most of the older ones. You don't
when John Terry.
If you had like John Terry or Frank Lampard, Frank Lampard isn't going to do a full 90.
I reckon he could. I reckon he could. I reckon he's fit.
He couldn't.
Not
there's a reason they don't play
John
anymore.
Terry could. Do you not see what John Terry did at Soccer Aid?
Did he play? Did he play the full 90 at Soccer Aid?
He played in Soccer Aid, and at one point he was playing up top.
Soccer Aid, isn't it?
He just sprinted.
Exactly, it's Soccer Aid. Like, you're not exactly straining yourself playing against athletes. They do women and men in the same team. Like, it's obviously not.
Yeah.
It's not
nah,
hard.
I get what you mean, but I do want some sort of like.
I'd love that.
I suppose it's difficult because you got to get probably 22 plus players willing to do it,
and you've got to like
whereas boxing's just two
and
people.
the thing is, well, you have to have like facilities for them, like if they get injured, because they'll get injured a lot, like every week.
Yeah, but that's just like a normal football game, though, isn't it? Really, you just hire.
Where are they gonna go? Like, have you got training camps? Have you got facilities for them? Like, are they just gonna train at the local like London?
If you get a big sponsor, if we can do Soccer Aid, I'm sure we could get some sort of. And we've got exhibition matches done before, so I'm sure that's not a problem. I'm sure football have got enough money to work this out.
I've got a title for this podcast already. Roy Keane going back to the Premier League? Question mark. Oh, I can already smell the views. And then you hear our groggy voices because we're all tired. I like the idea of it. I'd love to see them because obviously because we missed some of those players.
Well, yeah, it's like this is my whole argument of. We see these as legends. Will we ever see the players of today? So Aguero, when he retires, will we see them as the same type of idol? Because obviously, when we were younger and small, you really do idolise footballers. Whereas now we understand it a bit more. You don't quite idolise.
I think Messi and Ronaldo are the ones that we know for sure will be up there with like the Cruyffs and the Pelés and the
but like
R9s.
So like I don't know. Like you've got. Like Beckham for us as a kid growing up, I'd idolise Beckham.
Everyone liked Beckham, innit?
But like, are you gonna do that for? I don't know, Raheem Sterling.
No. The thing is, right? The thing is there's like a thing of qualities in it. There was like good players, and then there were like good players. You know the difference. Like you talk about Ronaldo, you don't talk about like Pedro. Where's Pedro? Where is Pedro? Where did he go?
Roma. He went on a free to Roma.
Oh my! See, no one knows Pedro, but what did Pedro win at Barca, and what did he win at Chelsea? Like people know him, but they don't know him.
Yeah, he's a very, very successful player.
Or like Bastian Schweinsteiger, no one talks about him, but he was quality at Bayern. Not so much United.
Yeah, but that's because of his ending at United more than anything, really, isn't it?
Yeah, he kind of messed up his reputation a bit with English fans.
Is he still playing in MLS? I know it was at MLS.
I don't think so.
Must have retired now. Like, where's Lee Schneider then? Or like, I feel like Iron Robin should be
Robin,
up there.
Robin.
He's probably on the brink, really. But like Modric, we're not gonna remember Modric, even though he won
Frank
the Ballon d'Or.
Ribery.
Like, I feel like in 20 years when you're telling your kids about the Ballon d'Or, like, oh, who won the Ballon d'Or in 2019? You're like, oh, this guy called Luka Modric, and they were like, who? And they have to Google him.
It wasn't Ronaldo or Messi.
Yeah, and they're gonna Google Luka Modric and be really underwhelmed. There's like this Croatian guy who, okay, he got to the World Cup final, didn't win, and he did some stuff with Real Madrid, and he wasn't fast, and he couldn't shoot. He could just pass.
But yeah, well, will we?
That was
incredible.
He shouldn't have won the Ballon d'Or. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know why he won the Ballon d'Or. But...
No, it was a career award.
Yeah, well, it should be Lewandowski next year. I can't believe there isn't one this year. Should be Lewandowski because they've done the Golden Boy as well, which makes it even worse because they could have done the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, no, it's a bit harsh.
Who's winning
just a tad.
Who's winning the Golden Boy next year? I know it's a bit far away, but
I'm sorry, flipping it. We've got ages to go. Yeah,
we have actually 12 months. But think about it. Right? Haaland can't win it now because he's already won it.
Is that an actual rule?
Yeah, well, because now he'll be eligible for the Ballon. If you win the Golden Boy and you're too young for the Ballon d'Or, you will have with Mbappe. You automatically become eligible for the Ballon d'Or. But to be fair,
I don't know.
The thing is with Haaland is he literally came out of nowhere. I think he's only really been on the scene for like a year and a half.
Last year. Yeah.
He went to Salzburg. He was from Molde. Went to Salzburg. Was there for like 6 months. Then went to Dortmund. Like, it was rapid. So we might not even know who it's going to be. Could that be like Makoko guy from... is that his name?
Yeah.
From Dortmund. Because he's sick. But he hasn't played many senior minutes, has he?
Well,
yeah, he's come off the bench a couple of times and that's it. Maybe someone like Giovanni Reina. Also,
I was thinking Gio Reyna. He looks good.
Yeah.
But you don't really hear as much of, say, like Mbappe. The thing is, like, to win the Golden Boy now, right, you need, like, something big to happen. Like, Haaland tore up everything.
Haaland. Could João Felix win it?
He did. No, he didn't. He did. He did.
Bellingham
he did.
Be up there?
He did it. Is Mbappe, Felix, and then Haaland in between in that order.
Haaland, Felix, Mbappe, De Ligt. I think those are the last four. So yeah.
Is there a shout for Bellingham at all?
No, De Ligt didn't win it before Mbappe, did he? He wasn't around back then.
I think he did.
Nah, because he would have been like.
Maybe De Ligt. I think maybe De Ligt won it after Mbappe then, but I'm sure De Ligt won it.
I feel like João Felix might not have won it, and he just got really high. Let's have a look.
Possibly.
I think we're thinking about because
if João Felix, I tell you what, if João Felix hasn't won it, then maybe him for next year. He's been pretty much the best player in
Has he done?
Has
he?
He has. He's been amazing. Yeah.
What about Ansu Fati?
He's just exploded.
Ansu Fati's a shout. Ansu Fati has been mad. He's actually been insane.
So he's been pretty much. I mean, he was pretty much Barcelona's best player so far this season up until he's out injured now for a couple of months, which is a shame for them. But yeah, he's been pretty immense so far.
Okay, I've got it. So it was Haaland this year, Felix last year, it was De Ligt the year before that in 2018, then it was Mbappe. Wait, did you know Renato Sanchez? I didn't know some of these players.
Yeah, he won it in 2016 because when he was still in Portugal and playing for Portugal, because he was like a main member of their Euro squad about 18 years old.
Wow.
He was amazing. And then he just went to Bayern, it didn't work out, but now he's back to playing like a proper good player at Lille. I kind of feel bad for some of these players, because you see some of these players and a lot of them didn't make it. You look at like Anderson, Mario Götze's in here. I feel sorry for Götze. That's kind of it though. It says Fabregas is in here. And Arsenal players in there. That's cool. You know, I don't see any Chelsea.
There we go. That's
yeah.
mine.
You deleted, aren't you? Really? But okay. I could never see any of your academy players doing it. They weren't even in the running. At least Saka was there. He was up there, top 10, I think. So, you know.
Was he actually?
I think he was 9th.
No play.
So, you know.
Reece James, get your art out.
To be fair, if any of your academy players are gonna do it, it'd be Reece James. But obviously, he's not.
Reece James is class.
He's not an attacking player though. It's usually like midfielder or there's only been one player who wasn't an attacking player really, and that was De Ligt.
I mean, if he can get his assists, and if we can have someone that can heaven a bloody ball.
Everyone else, De Ligt is the only defender to have won the Golden Boy. Everyone else was a forward or like a midfielder / cam. That's mad. So let's be honest, he's not gonna win. Maybe Trent. Trent's only still. You have to be 21, right? Trent's still 21.
Yeah, I think Trent will probably be ineligible next year.
Oh yeah, yeah. He
I
would
think
have aged.
is Rich James not over 21?
Like 20. Rich James isn't very young anymore. Forgot Gordon.
Honestly, I don't think it's. The thing is, the Chelsea youngsters aren't actually. Oh, he's 20.
And
Aren't as young
all
as
of these
think.
people did madness in the Champions League. Like you look at Martial, was in that Monaco team who killed it.
Mount's not eligible for it.
Mbappe was in that Monaco team who killed it when they did that like madness where they beat they beat Man City, right? Or was it just,
I don't know whether that was the same season or not. But
they had everyone. They had Fabinho, they had Mbappe, Martial.
Fabinho, Mbappe, Bernardo Silva, Bakayoko, Benjamin Mendy.
They made so much money from selling that team.
Did you say that the only people eligible are people that are 20 and under?
21, I think it is.
Oh, 21 and under.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if it's 20 and under, that's 2,000 people.
People born in 2000. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
us, we should win it.
Yeah, guys.
For all our efforts here at the Active Podcast.
Yeah, I'm in the Golden Boy running for next year. Don't know if you know. They sent me a message yesterday saying you're in.
Yeah, vote for Jacob.
If you're a journalist, obviously. If you're a normal guy, you can't. But you know, if you're a journalist listening, because we have big fans here.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'm a left back.
Fabrizio's watching this.
Fabrizio, bro, I see you. I'm a left back in it.
Don
so
Fab.
You can. Is Tom Stein a journalist?
Who?
Who's dad?
I said Don Fab.
Don Fab. I thought you said Tom's dad.
Yeah, my dad's a journalist.
But yeah, vote for me. Left back of the year. Yeah, big man like that.
Anyway, thank you very much, guys, for watching.
Yeah, thanks for listening to the Back to the podcast. This is a slow podcast. I won't lie. I'm real tired.
But yeah, go subscribe. Hit the subscribe button.
Follow us on Twitter.
Yeah.
Go follow us. Links are in the description. And,
yeah.
All right.
Peace.
Bye.